Nigel Veen.
Nigel Veen.
I like it.
Nige.
So, Mr. Veen,
Yes.
Rhys of Veen Physiotherapy,
Yep.
local physiotherapy legend as well, might I add. Welcome to the Black Ink podcast.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. You're like, you're and not taken away from me, you're not like a top tier like name in Bunbury, but you are in the mix of like people that everyone knows, if not directly, at least 2 degrees of separation.
It's always a good sign.
For a businessman.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
How has that occurred for you?
I think we've been in Bunbury for a long time. Basically, I was here since I was age 3. Mum and Dad had a big name. They had their own business here as well. And then going through school at St. Mary's and then BCC, I was I was thoroughbred basically through here. So, I don't know. I was kind of a bit of a people's pleaser back in school days as well. So I knew a lot of kids from different schools and then went away for a bit with uni and work and then came back and, just love being back in Bunbury and
good.
Just love networking and talking to people as well. So,
yeah, you and I cut from the same cloth in that regard, I think.
Yeah.
Where you walk into somewhere like Barlow or Little Spencer and it's at least a 20-minute ordeal just to get in and out. Exactly.
And it's nice because you can talk to, you see an old client in there, you might talk to a 70-year-old, you might talk to a 20-year-old. Particularly in the physio world, you see so many different walks of life. It actually is really nice. And then also, I think that's the big thing, answering your question, is you see so many people in a physio world. We might see 15 people a day. Times that by 5, there's 75 people and they might be different every week. So you see a lot of people.
Wow.
It's obviously Bunbury, southwest region.
And it's also a reasonably personal experience or transaction that you're offering people.
Yep, big time. People open up a fair bit.
Yeah.
So you start to learn a lot about people and you get to actually know a lot about them and also their family, because also, to build that kind of rapport, you actually want to find out what they do day to day, how they function, what they do for work. So when you see them next time, you can kind of follow up with that, or what's exciting, or how has that been going for you? So then you kind of build that rapport and trust, which is huge.
Is there a like metaphysical connection to someone's physical experience at work, their spirit, whatever it is, in like connection to the muscular system that carries them around?
In a way, I definitely reckon there would be. I guess I probably haven't thought about it too much, but yeah, probably. Yeah, or an example for me, just to.
So I, as a 33-year-old ex-professional athlete, now hobby, recreational runner.
Yeah.
Still very competitive.
Yes.
I will, through the word that's coming to mind is like prayer. That's not exactly it, but through sort of like if I'm running and my knee starts hurting.
Yes.
I tell my body, my knee is strong, my knee is fine.
Yep,
that's good. Usually by the end of the run, it's all good.
Yep.
Now, obviously, you can't tell your body that I don't have an ACL tear or I don't, whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
But I think there is a bit of a correlation between positive self-speak and
big time.
Yeah,
that
time. Muscular system just going like, oh, we're going to put more energy and concentration over here to fix this issue, whatever it might be.
Big time. Like probably the big ones is like stress, poor sleep, or like overstressed even at work as well. Those 3 things particularly, if they're kind of not working well and they're not high in terms of low stress, good sleep, the pain signals increase by about 3 times.
Right.
So really, really important to kind of, you make sure you get your 7 or 8 hours sleep. You try and reduce as much stress as you can, and the body's going to feel a whole lot better. And even if you don't have an injury, but particularly if you've got an injury, those stresses play a big factor for pain.
Yeah, and it's weird that like I find that now like my body at the moment, like I had a little knee thing happen this morning on the bike. It's been happening on the bike the past few days. I'm like, all right, might have something there that's then exacerbated by a low seat height doing wheelies, whatever. But then when I compare that to when I had knee surgery, and you're completely immobile, you're getting better like 1% every day. It feels like it's going to take. It feels like you're never actually going to be 100% again. The worst thing that has happened to you is the worst thing that's happened to you. Like at the moment, my mind's like this knee. It isn't 0.5% of having knee surgery. No. It's such a weird thing that your mind.
Exactly. And those first couple of weeks, a bit of inflammation, a little bit tender. There's probably actually not much damage. It's just inflammation, and the body kind of tells you, in particular the brain, literally it's telling you, hey, we've got a bit of an issue here, settle down, don't do that aggravating factor so we can get back to what we want to try and do. So it's kind of a protective mechanism. It's not actually damaging the body.
And then you also have alongside that the trickle-down effect of your knee hurts, you take it easy, you then get back to work, your other knee hurts because now it's taking on more load, and it's just like a...
constant cycle.
Oh, dude, why can't I just be 17 again?
Exactly, 100%. Because in the body, 2 days later, I'm good as gold.
Even then, like we were doing, some days you're doing like 2 training sessions a day. One of them would be extremely hard and the other one would be moderate. The moderate one then is now the extremely hard one now.
Big time.
And you do that back to back and you wouldn't warm up properly or stretch properly. You just
no
like,
stretching afterwards.
Yeah.
Don't see a kid stretch anymore, you know.
Dude.
Very rarely. There's a few clients. Shout out to you guys.
So what's your, I mean, you probably don't have a primary client or do you? Tell me what's...
We see a big mix of everything. So we are technically a private practice clinic, which is obviously mainly seeing people with private health. We do see people who with disability, which is the NDIS. We see Department of Veterans Affairs, which is like the people who've been in the Army or in the Navy. And then we also see home care packages, which is people with aged care assistance.
Okay.
And the other ones is like care plans. So like basically if you go to a doctor, you get referred through Medicare. So we see a huge range of different mix of people. But to narrow it down to primary, like the biggest issue, particularly in the world, is lower back pain. You know, 80% of people in the world will experience lower back pain in their life. Okay. So it's probably our biggest one that we see. And
obviously lower back pain is like a big category.
Yep.
Are we talking like sciatica, injury?
Very general. That's a mix. So like probably a bit of everything, you know, facet joint strain, muscle strain in the lower back with like muscle spasm. Sciatica is obviously a big one as well, where the nerve becomes involved. But yeah, it is a big mix and it can be anything in that kind of general region.
I would have put you down as like just sport injury. Yeah. You know, but obviously that's because... Yeah. I come to you with those issues probably, you know?
Exactly. And I guess it depends on the person. It depends on what you're Googling. Like we've tried to work out our website so that we can see everything or people kind of search up and go, oh, they actually see that as well.
Yeah.
I can't, you know, most physios usually start out and go, hey, I want to be a sports physio. I want to go work for the doctors. I want to go do all this kind of stuff.
Of course.
But that's kind of, you know, since owning the business, I've tried to broaden everything, really see that experience. And I think, like we said, like you see all walks of life. That's actually really nice. Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, I guess the consistent is everyone's got a body.
Yeah.
Most knees operate pretty much the same. Most hips are the same.
Yeah.
So, all right, rewind a little bit. You said you've got young and old, NDIS, veterans.
Yep.
You've got a real wide spread. Between leaving university with your bit of paper and getting to where you've now got, I mean, you've actually got your own premises very recently. You were working alongside...
Maximum Results Exercise Physiology team.
Now you're across the road, up a little bit and have your complete own premises. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So how do you get involved with all these like government assisted programs, I'm guessing?
So kind of like referrals come through from all different kind of things. Sometimes literally putting yourself out there. So, you know, going to networking events, meeting different owners of businesses and saying, hey, we can actually come out to your factory or come out to your workplace and do physio there.
Right.
The other ones is going to doctors' clinics and saying, hey, we're down the road. We focus on this, this and this. Refer our way and we can help you with this client. The other one's support coordinators, particularly for the NDIS side of things. So again, once they kind of get to know you, build that rapport, they know what you can do. They'll start sending clients your way as well. But again, it's building the rapport. You know, you got a good name. You got to you get results, and you're kind of honest, and you know got good integrity. People will trust you. And that's hopefully what we can build.
It's so interesting. I'm trying to think of a similar situation that I have going on. I think we're year 5, year 6 in business. Well, this is our 6th year of operation as this version of the business.
Huge, well done.
Outfit Co's like 3-ish years old. Yeah. And here's an example. Yesterday we had a new client we've never dealt with before. I've never met this person. Complete cold lead. Yep. Emails me with, hey, we want this, that, the other. I literally called them 12 minutes later with mock-ups already made.
Perfect.
Obviously we've got our processes in place. It allows this quick turnover. And they sent me really good artwork. That's a really big.
Yep.
If you give me good artwork, it just expedites the process so much quicker. So I had mock-ups in front of them within 12 minutes. They had identified we want a different garment color. Did that, responded to them. So they had all the pricing, mock-ups in an email. About half an hour later, we had quantities and sizes. 4 hours later, they had an invoice 10 minutes after that, and it was paid half an hour after that.
How good.
That job was worth $5,000.
Yep.
So that was from contact to being paid in a day. We'll call it a day,
Yep.
right? But it was a really quick a day. Now, that doesn't happen year one in business, you know? And also you sort of like stand back and you go, well, not only that, now that we have that money, we can order today. We'll have it in, 4, 5, 6 days, depending on the suppliers. We'll have it printed 24 hours after that, and we'll have it delivered to them 24 hours after that again.
Perfect.
So you look at that and go, well, Jake's making all this money really easy. They just come to him, they say, oh, yep, and it's done 2 weeks later and all this money. And you go, yeah, but that's only because I've been doing it the wrong way for 5 years, and now I have these systems in place. And
you learn, don't you?
You know how to deal with these things.
Yeah.
And I think those are not exactly the same, but the same sort of structure. Like you go, well, how are you working with this business, and how do you have this accreditation to be an NDIS receiver or all these things? And it literally is just like, it's a million small stabs. It's not one big one.
Yep, 100%. And I think you'll probably work like me a little bit. Is before I came here, I had 2 emails in the Veen Physio inbox. Mm-hmm. I hate having emails.
Yep.
If someone comes in, I get on it straight away.
Have to.
Because like that person is email you, it's also their life, it's their livelihood. You want to try and get back to them as soon as possible and help them out. Whereas if you leave it like, 48 hours, 72 hours, you haven't lost the trust, but you've kind of built it if you get there a little bit sooner as well.
Yeah, so that's that unspoken thing, right? That's so me calling that person with mock-ups ready to go, it's impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, it's impressive.
Yeah.
What does that communicate without words? I take you seriously.
Yep.
I take me seriously.
Yep.
I am built to deliver a particular product, and also by me having this rapid response, it lets you know that in an instant, like, oh fuck, this is what it's going to look like. This is what the finished project is. Yeah,
and you know what you do. That's the biggest thing. You are a professional.
Yeah, that expert positioning, and you are a professional in the space. Yeah. It's such a fascinating thing, and I think I don't want to dishearten entrepreneurs or whatever, but there are certain things that just take time to learn. Like I even had a chat with a bloke this morning. He's like, I kind of want to pick your entrepreneurial brain. Should I get a side hustle and stop what I'm doing at the moment and let that grow into a thing, or should I keep doing what I'm doing? And it's like, dude, you just got to the cool part of what you're doing. Yeah. Do that.
100%.
Side hustles are great if you're in a job that you hate, you've got a ceiling on how much you can earn, and you want to dance with the idea of making your own money. But if you're in your own thing, or he's a subcontractor in an industry, it's like, dude, you're halfway there, and you're in the hard part right now, that when you keep pushing through and you get to year 4, 5, 6, 10, 15, that's when you start reaping it. But if you stop now, you go back to year 1.
I know.
Oh, right.
You've done all the hard work.
Yeah,
well, think of also like, was it 80, 90% of businesses quit or finish up after 7 years or something like that? Might even be less than that. So
it's So obviously the metric everyone runs with is like 90% of businesses fail in the first year.
Yep.
Or some crazy high number. And then of the ones who survive, it's that number again. Then in the second year they fail. So if you make it to the third year, it's like, dude, you're
killing it.
Yeah. You've literally weathered the storm. Now enjoy the sunshine.
And you've done all the hard work for little reward.
All right. So talk to me about the follow-up to that was the 7-year itch, right? You get to the 7 years and you either are not getting what you wanted, or you're sick of the repetitive shit, or you just want out.
Yeah.
You're sick of dealing with the same conversation every day. You're sick of dealing with the same product, whatever it is.
Yep.
Talk to me about, there's a thing that I notice, I call it the $100,000 ceiling. Mm-hmm. Business owners get themselves to a position where they can pay themselves $100,000 and they stop growing. Yep. Then they just turn that into a process that they do every day. Essentially, they're an employee of their own business, and it's just sort of bought themselves a job, but they're the boss.
Yeah.
You don't strike me as the sort of person who stops at the $100,000 a year ceiling, and you probably passed it already. What have you done to employ to make sure that doesn't happen?
Yeah, definitely you're on the money there. You just got to keep going. I guess it's that entrepreneur side of things, isn't it? You just want to do more, help more, And I guess being in the industry that we are, it's all about helping people. So if you get to 3 years and go, I'm kind of done, it's kind of like, why are you doing physio? Why in business side of things? But in terms of things to put in place is employed more physios. So we've got a team of 3 there at the moment, all working full time, can see as many people as we can, obviously. But yeah, you just got to keep going. It's that mentality a little bit, isn't it? Just kind of have the mentality to help people, try and sort them out as best as you can, and then see how you go from there.
Do you think that you will continue to grow? Like, are you trying to build the biggest practice you can?
Yeah, absolutely. Want to be kind of known for to be the best physiotherapy clinic in Bunbury in the southwest. And then, the goal is never just to stop there. The goal is then to kind of expand and potentially move elsewhere, not just in the southwest region, but watch this space.
Do you think that at the moment you're in that conversation?
In terms of expanding and growing to the next one?
In terms of being the best physio in the southwest?
I think you've got to have that mentality, don't you? Like, you see a lot of people, they've seen other physios. When I was over in Melbourne, again, they just move and change, but it also depends on the person. Some people align really well with me. Some people like what I do, but it's not fully aligned. Everyone's different. You've just got to also work out which person suits you best in terms of a client coming to a physio, coming to a doctor or a dentist. They stick around because they probably align with them and they actually get them results.
True.
So it's a kind of like you try and please everyone, but you're not always going to help everyone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Even one thing you said before sort of scared me, but I understand where you're coming from in that I'm a big proponent of the idea of like hone in on one thing.
Yep.
Just be really fucking good at one thing,
Yep.
I don't know because I'm uneducated in your field, but it's like I almost would say like I'm the knee guy in the physio world, or I'm the whatever.
Yeah.
But you've sort of said like I would rather broaden that and just go, no, we do everything.
Yeah.
That would come with its own series of challenges. What does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess in the physio world, so you get obviously your degree, you get your piece of paper after uni, you go out for a few years. If you want to master and be a shoulder specialist musculoskeletal physiotherapist, you have to go do that for another year or 2 years part-time.
Oh, okay.
So you have to go and do those side of things. I decided, hey, I like the business side of things. My parents own their own business. I liked how it went, had a bit more flexibility. Obviously you do way more hours, but the flexibility is still there. So I went down more the physiotherapy business side of things, went more general. I loved it. I didn't want to specify just in one thing because I thought it'd be a bit monotonous. If I was seeing shoulders every day, God, 15 people a day, nearly with probably 70% exactly the same thing, it's going to get a little bit tedious. Obviously, you can always go on and do extra stuff, but I just wanted to help more people, help a wide range of people, and that's why I've kind of gone the general aspect.
So it sounds like you have more of a relationship with helping people over the actual muscular side of things.
Yeah, obviously there's a physical side of things. You've got to help them with all that kind of things. Let it be exercise, massage, dry needling, whatever they want. But yeah, like I said, probably even from my earlier days, I'm a people's person. I like to help people, please people.
Yep.
And that's why it's probably the names kind of come out a little bit as well, which is good. But yeah, and you know how they say employ people that are better than you in the physio world?
Yeah.
Or just in work.
In general, yeah.
In general, I've employed 2 physios which are absolutely fantastic, and I would 100% recommend them to anyone. So that's always kind of another way of kind of broadening and helping the business side of things, because you can trust them and they can kind of see anyone as well.
Yeah, and I guess by osmosis as well, you're sort of lifting the standard of the practice and probably your own service to people as well, because you're like, well, I can't be the owner and have these 2 savages outshine me in my own practice.
I love it. Go for it. They're great guys, absolutely, and they get repeat customers now, which is great. Obviously, we don't want people to have injuries and everything like that, but it's inevitable. People get injured, people get sore.
If they do get injured, you're like, come back to me.
Yep, we'll help you out.
Interesting. So, mum and dad were in business.
Yep.
What industry were they in?
So they're in the drafting business. So Dad had his drafting business down here in Bunbury. So he designed the Bunbury Farmers Market down here.
Okay.
Mazda, all those kind of bigger places, did some residential stuff and everything like that. And then they sold up in 2019 just before COVID time.
Just before the world burned down.
Yeah, exactly. So they got out at a pretty good time, and now they're just sitting back and enjoying retirement. They say they're busy, but they just go out for coffees all the time.
Yeah, my dad's retired as well. That dude is fucking. That's what retirement is. Jesus.
They do stay busy, but they're holidaying a lot now too, which is fantastic. Go and enjoy it.
So if that's the case, then you grew up with business language in the house.
Yep.
So you've sort of got a bit of a leg up there, hey?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Mum's talked to me a lot about it. It's like you got to talk about money as a family, or as, just a normal chit chat. It shouldn't be a taboo.
Yeah.
Like it should be one of those things where we're talking about how much money you make, where you should put with those savings. So they helped me a lot from that side of things.
Yep.
So kind of straight after year 12, I went and worked at Coppers Wood Logging, which is here in Dardanup. Saved $35,000 as a gap student, put $15,000 in shares, lived off the rest through my uni life. It's kind of those things that Mum and Dad kind of helped me with.
Wow.
So that was a big kind of kickstart. And then the share portfolio I haven't touched, that's been growing. It's been a big help.
Okay. That's wow. Yeah, that completely shines a light on you in a different way.
Yeah.
How do you view money?
Good question. It's obviously you don't want your world to evolve around money, but obviously it makes your life comfortable. I think it's an important aspect, but you've also got to think that you've always got to appreciate the relationships you've got in your life, the family and all that kind of stuff, and just having joy in your life and being grateful for those kind of things. But money plays a big aspect of enjoying life too, I think, as well.
Yeah. And certainly
He's making it easier.
Yeah. I think the whole conversation about money and the role that it plays in your life, your family life, in your friend's life, because the one thing about it is a consistent thing that we have to consider across the board.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
It's a measure of success in some elements. It's a measure of comfort. It's a measure of freedom.
Yeah.
It's also a measure of desperation in someone as well.
Yeah.
And I think the thing I sort of come back to with money, we've just recently come to a point in the business where we can sort of breathe a bit. It's
nice. Love that.
Thank God,
Yeah.
Still it's not in abundance, and it's not we can go out
full
and
luxuries,
do whatever you want to do sort of thing, but it's we can go out for breakfast and get anything on the menu, and it doesn't matter what it costs, it's all good.
Yep.
Once a week.
Well, 100%. I think that's a really important aspect. One thing to tell you, I started Veen Physio by buying and selling. So in 1 year, I made $30,000 from buying and selling things on Facebook Marketplace, eBay or Depop. And that's how I started the business. So it's kind of just having a little bit of that drive, knowing how don't waste your money. Don't go and buy a coffee 5 times a week. Don't go out. If you go out for brekkie with the boys or, with friends and stuff like that, you go do that. You enjoy your time, but you're not doing it just randomly just because, oh, God, I can't be bothered making brekkie.
Yeah.
You kind of have to be a little bit ruthless with money as well.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely just on the buying breakfast and buying lunches and buying dinners, you still have to have that as a celebration.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't, it's really hard to celebrate.
Yep.
All of a sudden you're instead of going out for $100 dinner, you're getting a $600 bag. You're like, what happened?
So true.
I don't, maybe you, but
we all do it differently. Absolutely.
But yeah, that conversation about money is there. There's definitely there's a point that you get to where you're like, all right, I can now afford everything. The only thing that happens when I make more money is that things get more expensive. So I can afford to go to Barloo and spend $25 on breakfast.
Yeah.
If I made any more money, I'm going to get the same shit at another restaurant cafe, but they're going to charge me more. And I get to indicate to everyone else in there that I can afford this as well.
Yep.
Right? That's all that is.
Yep, absolutely.
The idea that people would go to that second place, whatever it may be, that does charge more and does indicate everyone in there has that money. The idea that people go there and that's a massive chunk of their money just to appear there for a brief moment in time is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. There is nothing there's nothing prestigious in acting like you have money and not having it.
Yeah.
And I get the whole fake it till you make it bullshit and all the rest, but also I think fake it till you make it is in your mind. It's not a physical thing.
Yep.
It's
kind of a bit of that mindset to have, which a lot of people kind of need, but also, there's, all the the super rich people in a way. You know, they have this all banged up car. They don't have the big, huge Lamborghini, whatever it may be. You do have to start small and then slowly build from there. But like you say, things get more expensive because you start to have more money. That's fine, but as long as you're growing in that steady trajectory.
Yeah, Josh Wood, who came on and spoke about money, he was saying that has like two words. It's like a word for it. Like you will organically spend more money the more money you earn. It's like a subconscious thing that you don't even realize you're doing.
Yeah.
And I agree with him. I think I'm the 1% who isn't like that because I've been broke for so long. Or in my mind, I've gone like, no. For every dollar that I don't spend over here, I can put in the business. Yeah. And as an investment, I will always get a better return on money that I spend on my business than money I spend on me.
Absolutely.
And me's living. Me has hot water and food in the pantry and the power's still on, so we don't need to worry about me. Mm-hmm. We just worry about building the business to be as strong as possible. Yeah. And then watch it pay dividends in 10 years.
Yep.
You know, then you get to sit back and go like, oh, yeah, cool, all right, I'll get 2 croissants instead of 1, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think also I've had that mindset from a young age where I think it's like if you spend $1 today, in 25 years it's $50. So if you kind of think like, God, if I spent $1, which, you know, it's not much, but $50 in 25 years is a lot of money. And if you start to do it to $100, God, it's $5,000. So it is kind of crazy where you start to think it a little bit like that. And I guess I probably am a bit more conservative to kind of answer your question a bit more with money, but you do have to spend a bit of money as well from a business side of things to keep growing and support your team and everything else like that.
Oh, the expenses that come in business are absolutely ridiculous, and they seem to like A, pop up out of nowhere for shit you didn't even know you needed, and B, continuously increase.
Yeah.
And I think the one thing that is really like nice about business is that your earning potential is based off how much you're willing to put into it. You know, I've been an employee with jobs that I did and didn't enjoy doing.
Yep.
And the part that broke my heart was like, if I give 100%, I get paid the same amount as if I give 20%.
Correct.
So then what do? You give 20% because why would I?
Yep.
But then you're a guy who's giving 20%. And how you do anything is how you do everything. You go home, you love your partner, 20% of your capacity. You wipe your ass at 20% of your capacity. You weed the garden to 20% of your capacity. And all of a sudden, you're a fucking loser.
Yeah.
All because of this relationship with the thing that you spend most of your life doing outside of sleep, which is work.
Yep.
In a position where like your manager talks to you really nicely because he's worried about his bonus. He doesn't care about you and your pay. Yeah. He's trying to make sure that he manages the best.
Yep.
And that translates to, in my experience, your quality of life going down.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not a crazy formula.
Very crazy formula. Absolutely, right? 100%.
And then if you are the sort of person who is like, well, I would give 100% if I got paid double or triple, start a business.
Yeah.
Or find someone who has a business that is willing to compensate you for that effort, because there are those positions out there as well.
Yep, big time. Like, you know, commission-based stuff, which is obviously very rewarding for a lot of people as well. But I think you got to look after your employees as much as you can, support them and everything else like that. But from our side of things, being the owner as well, it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
But it's good hard work. You got to enjoy it.
So you probably don't want me to circle back to this, but I will. Being the best physio in the Southwest, do you have much competition in that realm, do you think?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of great physios out there, particularly in the Southwest region. Really, really good ones. It's basically just trying to get your name out there, like we talked about, to try and let people know that you're there. Then they've got to recognize you a few times, talk to you, whatever it may be. Then they'll come and see you. And then that's kind of where the magic kind of happens. You know, you've got to try and win them on that first impression or that first consult. And then, you know, if you can get results, that's your biggest thing. If you can get results with them where it's like, hey, I've seen 2 physios before, super sore on my hip, let's do something about it. You do some tests, you do MRI, you found, oh my God, you actually might need to go for surgery and blah, blah, blah. You've won them kind of thing. So that's always a really big part of it as well.
Right. And what role does having the right influential people, I'm sort of answering my question as I say it, but like having the right influential people in a population like Bunbury's, which is 100,000 between Australind and Jallora, obviously if you get half a dozen people that people listen to and they're going like, oh, yeah, you need someone, you go see Rhys.
Yeah.
How do you, A, find more of those and deliver the best possible treatment.
It's word of mouth probably actually pretty big actually. So again, if you get those, first couple of people through, they go, hey, he started his business, go support him. He's actually a really good physio too. Or more the aspect of, hey, I went and saw Rhys, or I saw the Veen physio team. They really helped me. And they go, well, they might not need the physio then, but in 3 months' time, it's like, oh, who did you go see again? And then they go and book in from there. So yeah, that word of mouth, building that kind of trust, getting those results is the biggest part of it.
And obviously, when you're one big thing that really, I've seen a lot of physios.
Yep.
Just over the whole period of being an adult, and probably I had fractured my back when I was young, like 14 or 15, in a speed skating accident, which we didn't really identify at the time.
Yep.
And then it got worse and worse and worse, and ended up doing clinical Pilates. And dude, I was doing Pilates before it was cool, by the way.
It's pretty cool now.
It's very fucking cool. It's very cool. Shout out GlowFit.
Yeah.
I don't still go there, but I did a month with them, and I'm constantly rent-free in the back of my mind. I'm like, I really should go back to GlowFit because everything just worked better.
Yeah.
It's such
absolutely.
it's like a lubricant for your joints. It's nuts. And also they were surprised. They're like, hey, Jake's actually pretty strong. I'm like, fucking no shit, I'm pretty strong, dude. Let's see you on some inline skates. You just don't know what stabilizers are.
Hey, it stays with you big time for sure. You doing all your things back in the past, you might feel not as fit as you used to, but you're probably very, very strong, very, very flexible.
Yeah, for sure. I think as far as what's it called? Balance.
Yep.
Like my balance is, for a 33-year-old, pretty good, I reckon.
Yeah.
We're getting off the track.
Yes.
One thing I did notice with you straight away, because I've seen you about my hip and my knee on a couple of occasions, is your immediate confidence. Mm-hmm. How do you have that confidence when you're dealing with something that you can't see?
You definitely have to be confident, that's for sure. It's to provide confidence to and reassurance to the client as well. Obviously, you can't see things, but you can test things. Over time, I'm in my 7th year of actually being a physiotherapist.
Okay.
That experience, which again, 7 years probably doesn't sound like too much for a professional side of things, but it probably does play a big, big factor. As you start to see more knees, see more hips, you build up a bank of what people usually move or how they move.
Right.
So then I've kind of, go, most people your age, your height, your weight, all that kind of stuff usually move like this. So then you can kind of test, that's probably a little bit off compared to most people.
Right.
Then you can start to build that picture in your brain and you go, yep, I definitely think it's more along these sort of things. But it's that build of experience, being a 7th year in a physio, being 3rd year in business. Again, you just start to build on those building blocks that you've already got already to then build your confidence and be confident to the person in front of you.
Okay, so we go back to that equation of you're seeing 15 people a day.
So
times 5 is 75.
Yep.
Times 50 operational weeks of the year is heaps, and then times by 7 is heaps more.
Yeah.
So you've got this generalized understanding of what the human body is meant to do. And
Yep, absolutely. When you're going through uni, you go, God, this is pretty easy because everyone there is a physio, building to be a physio, but they've got the best physical body. So you're like, oh God, range of motion's great.
True.
So you've already built this function of young 18 to 25-year-olds, great body in terms of how they move, no issues. Then you get out to the real world, you start treating people who are a little bit stiff. You go, oh my God, this is different. So then you're building for another year or two, and then you start to get the picture. And then you go, yep.
Is that daunting at the start?
Definitely daunting at the start because, when you learn from a book, you learn from lectures and all the what they call OSCE tests, which is you go in for 6 minutes, you have to kind of read a question and then go answer. It's very different in uni as you go out to the real world.
Okay.
And also the people then start to pay you. So when I first started, you kind of go, God, am I actually worth that much? People should be paying me that much.
Yep.
And then you start to grow and go, yeah, I'm definitely worth that much. Again, the amount of work I've put in, the experience I've got, the knowledge I've got, I'm definitely worth that. And, I definitely think I give value to a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not being cocky. Again, that's just being confident, again.
Yeah, dude, you sound like someone who's been doing it for long enough to understand the value. And I think that's definitely, as a business owner and as someone who's spoken a lot about this topic with other young up and coming, sometimes 3, 5, 10 years into their business, that value, understanding of value in the exchange for your product or service. And a lot of the times you're having the conversation where you say increase your prices because at the moment you have not enough money and not enough time.
Yep.
So if you increase your
Time is money.
prices, you'll get rid of all the people who didn't want to, all the cheapskates will fuck off, and the people who will stay, you can serve them better and they're paying you more money.
Yeah.
You're either making the same amount with more time, or you're making more with more time, win-win.
Yep, absolutely. Right? Hard in our industry a little bit though, because you want to help people. There's a lot of people in our industry that can't afford it. Yep. So say with the care plans, which we went back to, which is like covered through Medicare, we bulk bill the first appointment for people so they can be seen at least. Get a gist of it. Then we kind of discount that already a little bit more as well in terms of the next follow-up appointments because you want to help people as well. There's so many people out there that can't have the help and assistance. If you can help that person as well, they're going to really enjoy your company, trust you, have that integrity as well.
Yeah, of course. That value exchange for like, I don't know, especially when like I find it with uniforms, you sort of go like, oh, you know, I'll send a quote or an invoice. You're like, oh fuck, I hope they don't mind that being that cost. But yesterday I sent a quote or invoice to this other company, and it's the same product, the same price, the same prints, everything, and I did it without hesitation.
Yep.
Now obviously there's two things at play. That's like today I'm having an off day and yesterday I was having a fire day.
Yeah.
Disregard that. You sort of like assume the spend of the business or the client based off your relationship or knowledge of them.
Yeah.
In reality, your product is the same product every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have to like bed your knowledge on that.
Yeah.
Not on this like emotional thing of the other person. And you know what happens 95% of the time? They pay it.
Exactly.
And the other 5%, they take a week to pay it, but they still pay it.
Absolutely.
You know?
They want the product. You've done all the hard work. They kind of go, I don't want to go see someone else. I'm going to pay it anyway, which is the big part of it for sure.
How do you go with your social battery?
Social battery, yeah, I've been pretty good. It definitely burns out a lot of people. So the average amount of time that people stay in physiotherapy is actually 7 years. So I'm bang on it right now, which is pretty amazing. And you kind of go, well, you've been at uni for 4 or so years. It's a pretty long time to go to uni and then only stick around for that long. But I guess in the common in the world now, it's easy to change jobs. To go back to your question, more about the social side of things, yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I don't have any issues with it whatsoever. I guess you just got to find those ways to turn off.
What is your hobby of choice, your flow state that you can?
Yeah, so gym's probably a big thing as well, where you can kind of just go to the gym, burn some energy, even though you probably need a little bit of that social battery for it a little bit, or you know, that energy. Gym's a big part of it, running as well, side of things. Got a little family, a little son now as well, so that's always a big part. But that social battery has to be built up because obviously little fella, he's just absolutely AWOL at the moment in terms of energy.
Yeah.
But
how old is he?
He's 10 months old. So,
wow.
yeah. I say on the weekend, on Sunday, the wife, Paddy, little son, we went down south for the morning. That was perfect for the social battery, you know. Don't have to talk to anyone. You just talk to the wife, talk to Paddy, you know, Doesn't get much more than that.
That's cool.
But, yeah, that was a nice turn off reset for the week ahead, which is always good.
Yeah. So, obviously, you've gone through the process of starting a business. I'm going to hit you with the same... Sorry to the listener. I'm going to hit you with the same question that I ask everybody in this situation, new parents and parents in general who have started businesses from nothing.
Yeah.
What is the similarities between the two, becoming a parent and starting a business?
Similarities between the two? Good question. You start out really not knowing anything. You know, when you get a child, there's no book, there's no uni. It's kind of like, here you go, all the best. Same thing with work in a way. You've got a gist of it, of what to do, and it kind of should just come naturally for you, or it has to come naturally. Yeah. Obviously, you can go get help with children. You can get help with business.
Yeah.
When you first start out, you haven't got much money, you haven't got much knowledge, so you just go for what works best for you.
Yeah.
Or the environment that you were a part of when you were younger, you kind of go back to those kind of ways, how your parents helped you. So there's definitely parts of it where it's the unknown and you just start to do what's natural for you.
So how old were you when your son was born?
I was 30.
30.
30 years of age.
Are you still 30? 31.
31.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you were the same age as me. I just turned 33.
Just turned 30. I'm 1994.
Yeah, I'm 92.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you're 30, your first child is born. How much thought have you put into being a parent up until that stage?
I think I always wanted to be a dad, that's for sure. In the younger days, when you're at uni, you're kind of enjoying yourself a little bit. Then you start to work. Life gets a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
And then when we were in Melbourne and we came back from Melbourne in 2022, Beck was gone back to uni to do her master's. She's a physiotherapist too.
Oh.
And it's kind of gone like, all right, probably like you just felt time was to settle down in a way. So then the dad kind of, moments come in. We got married, definitely kids after that. And it kind of all just fell into place, which was like really, really nice.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Did you have like a moment where you're like, yeah, all right, let's do it? Do you have like a defining moment?
Yep. Yeah. Well, not a moment or like a click. It was just kind of it was after marriage. After we got married, it's kind of just felt like normal to kind of do it. It's probably the old traditional way. Both sides of the family are Catholic, so it's kind of probably what not like strong Catholics, but it's just it had those morals from when you were a younger kid. So it kind of just felt natural, have a baby after you get married, and worked out perfectly.
How did you have going further back than that? Did you have a moment where you sort of like realized that Beck was the one for you and you did want to get married to her?
Yeah, absolutely. I've always kind of thought when you go out with someone that your thought is that you want to marry them later on in life. Obviously, when you're young and like 22, 23, you're probably not thinking like that, but you align really, really well. And then you're kind of thinking, even just in the back of your mind, hey, she would be a really good mother. And she's absolutely amazing. So that was a kind of a big tick for me when I'm going out for someone.
Interesting. Now, you went to BCC. I'm going to assume that you have a certain amount of faith behind you.
Yep.
Are you a practicing Catholic?
No.
Okay.
No.
Are you psychologically religious? Do you believe?
Aspects of it, but I haven't prayed in a long, long time. Haven't been to church in a long, long time. I think it's from a Catholic side of things. What I learned is and thinking back to it, it's more about being a good person, like the 10 Commandments and everything like they teach you.
Right.
It's not actually that preaching and that prayer that I've kind of got from it.
Yeah.
It's more about how to be a good person in the society.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a blueprint for human life. I try and make sense of okay, there's this book of stories that's been around for forever, and heaps of people seem to think it's it.
Yep.
And you're like, all right, well, in comparison to any book that could have been written a while ago, translated through heaps of different languages and had millions of people, probably billions of people at this point, devote their life to it, there could have been any amount of those books, but there's one. Well, there's a handful of them, but in our religion, there's one.
Yep.
So what is it about? What the fuck, right? And the thing that, and I wrestle with God constantly.
Yep.
Because, and replace God with like the creator, the program, the matrix, whatever you want to call it. The reason that we exist, something decided somewhere, somehow that Jake and Rhys should meet each other and talk on a podcast, right?
Yep.
And it seems to be the most consistent thing that I can come up with through my, very peripheral thinking of it throughout my adult life is that it's a book, it's like a manual for life.
Yep.
It's a book of stories that essentially outline all the things that could potentially happen to you throughout your life and how you can best handle them. Here's this example of this dude that went through it for you. He lived a perfect life. He was sin-free without mistake, whatever.
Yeah.
And now you can try and, endeavor to do the same thing.
Yep. Big time.
The crazy part about it is like a lot of people don't understand, like even you have some awareness of it, that you're like, I was subconsciously looking for someone to marry, found someone, I'm having these sorts of probably her. Once I got married, let's have kids.
Yep.
Now my kid is born, I'm trying to instill these good values that probably reflected from what you learnt at school as a Christian.
Yep.
And now the cycle repeats itself.
Absolutely.
Interesting, right?
Yep.
I had story time, the complete opposite effect throughout my adult life. I sort of felt like I was put into private schooling because we moved all over the Northwest and it was just better than the public schooling. So by default, my parents, my mum is more religious than my dad, but they're both brought up religious.
Yeah.
Seventh-day Adventist and Anglican,
Yep.
I believe. And so I was by proxy religious.
Yeah.
And then hit my rebellious teenage years and I was like, fuck no, dude. I've watched all the 9/11 was an inside job stuff. I grew up on the...
Can't be real.
Yeah, nothing can be real. And if that's not real, nothing's real, you know?
Yep.
And so you go through this whole process of like, I'm not getting married. I'm not having kids.
Yep.
I'm going to be the cool uncle. Don't have any brothers or sisters, but I'm going to be the cool uncle with all the money all the time and all the hobbies.
Yep.
I'm going to ride motorbikes, get tattooed, fuck the world.
Yep.
Had a vasectomy at 23. Let's go. Right?
23.
23.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went through like a series of relationships that were great. Like I've had, I don't know how many serious relationships. The one before Rhys was absolutely fucking horrible.
Yep.
You know, like I have no remorse in saying that.
Yep.
It was terrible. And I just got to a point where I'm like, okay, that just completely cements the idea that I'm that guy who I thought I was going to be. Never get married, never having kids.
Yep.
Fuck it. So when I met Rhys, it was like, hey, we're going to be friends who hang out, and if you ever wake up and you don't want to wake up next to me, you let me know and I'll do the same thing.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden we're like 5 years in, and we've never had the chat as to whether we're boyfriend, girlfriend or anything. We're living in the same house. We're living in a caravan together. We've started a business together, and we've done all these things. And we're watching 90 Day Fiancé. I'm absolutely ripped. Like I'm stoned.
Yeah.
And we're watching 90 Day Fiancé. I'm like, do you know 90 Day Fiancé?
I don't.
It's this hilarious TV show that is based off these couples getting together in an accelerated timeline because they're trying to get married within a 90-day period because they're going for the K1 visa, which is like if you move to America as someone who doesn't have citizenship, you can get a citizenship if you marry an American in under 3 months.
Yep.
And you're watching these people go through absolute turmoil because they're just not doing any of the basics.
Not natural.
Know? No, it's not natural at all. And
Yeah.
that's not what marriage represents. Even if you're not religious, marriage is a commitment to this person in front of your family and friends. It's a celebration to say, hey, me and this person, we're legit.
Yeah.
And I thought, if anyone should get married, it's this chick who's me and this chick who's refused to leave my side, even when, you know, like I had nothing to my name and I said, if there's ever a time you have to support me, it's now, because I believe this business will work. I just can't afford to support myself. I can support the business. You need to support me. And she's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
She knew all of my flaws. She knew all of my insecurities. She knew all the things that scared me. She knew all the things that made me tick, because right at the start I had nothing to hide because I was never going to be in a relationship with this girl. I was just going to donate all of this information about me, and in return she did the same to me as well. And so I never really had the perspective of like, I'm looking for someone to marry, I'm looking for someone to be the mother of my children. I was like, I'm just looking to have a good day. And I had so many good days in a row that it became so blaringly obvious that if I am going to marry anyone, it's going to be this girl. And so I asked her to marry me. And
Well done.
we're still in the process of getting married. That was years ago now. But that organically, like you said, once like you've sort of already made that commitment in your mind, so like, well, by asking, I'm sort of like indicating that we should get married, right? But now I'm like, all right, well, I'm not gonna, but let's just pretend if we were to have kids, would she be the yeah, she'd be the mother. Yeah.
Pretty easy.
Then you start talking to her about it and she feels the same way. And then all of a sudden you know, upgrading houses so that if you have kids, and then you're buying a pram before you're pregnant, and then you get a cot, and then you get a vasectomy reversal, and
It's all happening. It's all falling into place.
it's all happening, right? And that whole like trajectory of going from like, well, fuck everyone to like, oh no, all that structure and routine that I was trying to abandon now gives me like purpose. The responsibility gives me something to like sink into and go like, no, this is my garden to tend, and this is my fiance to love, and this is my child to be the best possible version of me for, you know? And that whole concept of like, I don't know, I feel like every man, I'm only going to say that because that's the experience that I've never been a woman before, but every man does go through that rebellion where they're just like, no, fuck everyone. I am him. And then you have to have that taken away from you and almost like a blindsided way where you're like, wait, who am I? You know, to then come to like, oh, I'm her husband. I'm that baby's father.
Absolutely.
You know, well, I hope that very soon we have a baby I can call.
Big time. How nice is it though to be your own self and you don't have to worry about trying to change who you are or what you do around someone, you know? You kind of know then as well where you can just be yourself, do your own thing. They kind of follow, you follow them. It's kind of mutual and then it all just falls into place and you just feel like, yep, this is perfect. This is exactly what we need.
Yeah. What's, I don't know, is there like, like Riz and I have constant like, what do you call them, inside jokes with each other.
Yep.
We're almost to the point where we have like our own language.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we can say things to each other that sound completely, you know, neutral, platonic, and we know it's like, oh, that means that she wants to get the fuck out of here, you know?
Just like, come on, let's go.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. It's kind of, you just, have a little bit of that bond that kind of just feels natural, feels good. You know exactly what they mean, even without even saying it.
Yeah, the look.
Yep, the look.
Oh my God.
The tug. You know, there's all those different kind of things. And you got those, like you say, those inside jokes where if you say something, you kind of look at each other and go, oh yeah. That past little thing that we were talking about.
Oh, dude.
It's so nice.
So good when you'll be somewhere and someone will say something, you immediately look at each other, you're like, oh, that's coming up in the car on the way home.
Big time. The biggest thing though, and having a child is absolutely amazing. It is unreal. It is surreal. Yeah. One of the best things to ever happen to us for sure. You know, just to have a little fella that's a 50-50 of both of us.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of, you can see him and me and him. You can see Beck in him. Yeah. It's absolutely so special.
So what's, I know you sort of, you know, touched on it before, like you don't get the manual on the way home as to how to do it.
Yeah.
What's leaving the hospital with a new baby like?
It's pretty crazy. You're walking out and you're going, what the hell do I do now? You know, you're kind of like, do I need to change its nappy? It's crying. You know, again, you just start to learn all these kind of different things. If it's crying, it's probably hungry or it's tired, or something's bitten it, who knows? And then because the babies like you a little bit, you kind of catch on a little bit more. And you're around it so much. Obviously in a situation that we're in, I'm working, Beck's not working, she's with Paddy all the time. Yeah. So obviously she's got that little bit more connection with him, but we're still super, super close. And, you know, to walk in through the door and you kind of like, Paddy, 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 he looks at you and then just starts cracking up laughing.
Yeah.
Where it's a genuine happiness and laugh like no other. You know, if a mate does it, you kind of, you know, you might be put it on a little bit or something along those lines. Whereas he's just so young and naive, has no idea.
Oh,
It's genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing that as a parent, you kind of just don't understand it. And also you don't understand how much your parents have done for you. Yeah. Because you don't realize that until you're a parent. It's just like, wow, total respect.
Yeah, I feel like that. I haven't had this thought, so this might not be a fully fleshed out idea, but I do feel like that's like a missing part of my experience so far. Like even one of the more consistent things that I sort of like reflect on is like the relationship you have with your father as a son.
Yes.
Is you tend to idolize, demonize, humanize.
Yep.
And that tends to happen somewhere through like idolize your childhood, adolescence, demonize, adulthood, humanize.
Yep.
And I think that, you know, I sort of have these questions, and again, sorry to the listener because I talk about this all the time on the podcast, but, you know, I have these questions like, why did this happen when I was a kid? Why don't I have any siblings? Why do we move around? All these questions. And then you think, oh, well, they were my age when they had me.
Yep.
And I'm fucking retarded, you know? Like I can't imagine what it was like back then with no ChatGPT, no Google, no community, no nothing. And the fact that like they essentially traveled as soon as I was born. So they were like by themselves.
Yep. No idea.
It's not like they had all the options in the world and they're like, we're going to choose this. It's like most of the time it was, we're working with what we got that's in front of us right now. And it's not like a malicious decision to move you around all the time. It's like, that's what it was at the time.
Yeah. You know? How did you find being an only child? Because I'm an only child too.
So obviously the logical answer is I don't know because I've never had brothers or sisters.
Absolutely.
The emotional answer is, and it's two part. One part is like I look at the relationships that my friends have with their siblings and I envy it because I think you had this opportunity, you've got this great connection with someone, especially people who like fight with their brothers and sisters. Like, dude, fuck you. Fuck you.
What a privilege.
What a privilege.
Yeah.
You know, like
to have them in your life.
Yeah. 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 Like I don't have the best friend that I've had since I was 5 years old. I don't have like my good friends, my really good friends, like my two closest friends, like I've known them for 4 years.
Yep.
You know, it's like that idea of if you don't have that best friend, you don't have a sibling. I feel like I'm on an island by myself, and people visit me on the island all the time. And Rhys is obviously such a strong part of my life, but at the same time, it's like outside of Rhys and mum and dad, who it's a different relationship again. It's like by myself, dude. I'm by myself. And, you know, the feelings of success that you have when you have these wins in business and the feelings of failure that you get in business, and even, you know, with running, training for this marathon and like having moments of like injury and all that, it's like, yeah, you know, like Rhys is compassionate and she cares about me. And you know, mum understands and she remembers when I broke my back or whatever and had that thing in Europe and this and that. But at the end of the day, there's not that like person that's the same age that gets it, that you have those 33-year inside jokes and looks and all the rest. Yeah. I think the second part of the emotional answer is I want my children to have siblings. You know, like we joke about it. I would love for Rhys to have twins. Yeah. Or us to have twins. Yeah. You know, if we had a boy and girl straight off the bat, it's like fucking Red Rover, dude. Job done.
100%. How nice would that be? Yeah, my cousin's literally just had a little baby girl, and then they're having twins next. I'm like, perfect. You're done. Don't have to worry about it. That's the perfect mix.
So you know? Girl and then twins. I know the gender of the twins.
Don't know. So yeah, it's pretty crazy though. That's a good way of doing it, I reckon. Yeah. So like, I'm an only child. Beck's got 3 other siblings, so she's a family of 6 with the 4 kids. So it's a real big difference. And I think, like you say, it's kind of, you don't know any different, but as you grow up, you go, wow, I wish I did have a brother or sister. Yeah. Those things sometimes don't happen. You know, I was IVF. Mum and dad couldn't have any other kids. When I was growing up, I told them I'd leave home if they adopted someone. So obviously they didn't. So it's kind of funny how it kind of all fell into place. But as I grew up, I was like, oh, damn, I wish I did have a brother or sister.
So you're 30 and you're an IVF baby.
Yep.
Do you know much about that process for your parents?
I think I was the first off IVF treatment for them. So it worked the first time for them, but they tried a lot of other things before that.
Like doggy style and...
Not exact, don't know those details, but...
Get your mum and dad on the phone.
Yeah, we'll find out. So I don't know too much of the ins and outs, but it works and it's a pretty amazing little thing. So yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah, we're 12 months in and that's our reality at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For IVF? Yeah.
So yeah, it's a and also it's fuck, dude. You learn about what that is, and it is actually unbelievable that we have the capacity to like have that as an option. Yeah. You know, and like, it's this much money and this much effort, and it's obviously it's a crazy thing to go through for her, for me, for my friends who have to deal with me fucking crying on the phone on occasion and whatnot. Yeah. But also, wow, they pull eggs out of the female and sperm out of the male in a lab, put them together, and then put them back in and go, off you go have a baby. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing, the medical world these days, and it's only going to get better, of course.
It's funny, we're talking to, had this conversation with the doctor who is treating us. I think that's a word for it. He's treating us, and he goes, obviously there's IVF, then there's ICSI. Do you know what ICSI is? No. So IVF, essentially, they get an egg, I'm going to be very brash with the explanations, but they get an egg, they put it in a test tube, they fill it up full of sperm, they mix it up, and then they look at the egg, and if it's fertilized, cool. Yep. ICSI is when they get the egg, they get a singular sperm, they inject the egg with the sperm, and they go, yep, that worked, and then they go ahead. And he goes, it's a bit of a, whether you do it this way, and there's a lot of other factors that, for privacy reasons, I don't want to divulge on the podcast, but yeah, you can go this way or that way, but it's more of it's a decision up to you. I'm like, is this an ethical thing that you're asking me? Yeah. Whether natural selection is going to pick which one of the sperm in the test tube is going to get into the thing, or whether you choose which sperm? He goes, that's exactly it. I'm like, brother, either of them are happening naturally. There is no ethical dilemma here. Yeah. Fucking do what works.
Just get me a child.
Get me a child. That's what this is about, you know?
Yeah.
It's to have that conversation is a bizarre moment.
Yeah. Big time. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's also it's the what do you call it, likelihood of like success rate in IVF is like, it can take, you hear the people who do like 10 rounds and still don't end up with a baby and this, that and the other.
What's the success rate these days? Do they tell you?
I know our success rate with our factors.
Obviously it's different for everything, isn't it?
It's different. If you go in there, say you're 47 and she's 38, it's going to be different to, whether
overweight, height, stature, all that kind of stuff.
And also, like, the reasons for IVF are so broad as well. You know, like, I tell you what is crazy though. This is nuts. So because we've been trying for so long, we both have factors that affect our fertility. We fall into like a referral basically. If you get a referral to go to a fertility place, then everything sort of is heaps easier, heaps cheaper. And I sort of took that with a grain of salt because it's still fucking expensive. So expensive. It's ridiculous, right?
Time consuming and expensive.
Oh yeah, dude. All the rest. But part of the process, all good. Life is expensive. So we get the medication and, you know, we're doing the thing. Anyway, on the medication, it's got the sticker, you know, it's for this person, use it like this. This is your dosage, how much you paid for it, and the recommended retail. Well, what we paid for it is under $50, and what it recommended retail is like $3,600. We got one of the, well, that's for one, and we got like 9 of those.
Wow. That's huge.
So if you decide you and Beck go, we're going to do IVF next and you don't have any fertility issues, and sweet, go to the place, get the thing, get the prescription, off you go. We're talking, I mean, in that context, like upwards of like between $20,000 and $40,000 just in medication before you do any egg retrieval, before you do hospital admission, before you do anything like that.
That's crazy.
Nuts.
Yep.
Absolutely nuts.
Yep. Just shows how much you want a child, you know, how special it is to have one. Obviously the birth rate is crazy down at the moment, but
well, they say one in every 8 children born at the moment is an IVF child.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so when you put that into perspective of how many children are being born, both of us are in the wrong business, right?
Yep.
Both of us are definitely in the wrong business.
I'm in medical. I'm close, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah, dude. It's like we do absolutely everything. We do knees, hips, IVF.
Absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely not trained for that, so don't come see us for that.
Yeah, it's a it's and I think you hit the nail on the head. It's just like not a question of how much do you want it, but there is definitely something that like very similar to business. There's nothing too expensive in my business if it fits the context of what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And it's like in my personal life, it's like I'm trying to be a dad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a parent with her.
Yeah.
So whatever that costs, you know, and there is no limit on that. You know, I don't want to spend $100,000 to get a child. There's a big but there. Yeah. You know?
100%. You kind of have to, you got to weigh it up, but it's kind of the inevitable. You kind of do anything to do it, don't you? Well, you're trying to anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny, you know, they say, and I'm sure you can attest to this as well, that like you change as a man when you see a child for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, like all of a sudden you're perceiving how everyone drives on the road differently because you've got your bundle of life in the back.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
And I accept that. But also as someone who's before that, but has given now years of energy into like having a child. What does that mean? Who am I? What are my values? What are the things that I want to generationally stop so it doesn't get down another level to my kids? I feel like, you know, I'm taking life pretty seriously. Yeah. Pretty seriously. Yeah. You know, it's
pretty unfair sometimes, isn't it? Because you're trying to do all the right things.
Doing crackheads just have like a dozen kids and don't know where they are. And you're like, here we are building a life and a business and an income and a lifestyle and a mentality and all these things, and we have to go through the struggle. Yeah.
I think a lot, and even when it comes into business, a lot of it is luck. You know, it's just, you know, luck in business, luck in personal life. You try and do all the right things, but some things is just all about the timing, you know, where, for instance, going probably a bit more back to business side of things, hey, I was ready to move out of the old place. I need a new clinic. This one came up. No one was in it. Perfect. Luck, you know. We went for something else. We put an offer in. Someone put an offer higher, but I kind of looking back, I'm glad I didn't get it. It was kind of just like it happened for a reason. Not, you know, I think things happen for a reason, but there's also a little bit of that luck that kind of goes your way to help you as well.
Yeah, there's definitely an element of when you're doing everything right, it will feel effortless.
Yeah.
You'll still work hard, but it feels effortless. And when you're heading the wrong direction, you'll be met with resistance. Yeah. Caveat, you can push through the resistance and still do the wrong thing.
Yep.
But if your frequency is correct, you will have moments where you stand back and you go, hang on, why is this so hard? Why did that, you know, and like a lot of the times we like to pretend we know that, no, this would be the best outcome for me. I'm going to work for this to happen. I want this. And then all of a sudden it doesn't happen and you're like, oh, my dream has fallen apart. It's like, no. You're not following the plan. You don't know what the plan is. You're pretending that your plans are that's not the plan.
Yep.
You know?
Wasn't a failure.
Yeah.
It was just a learning experience.
So did you buy
the clinic?
Yeah.
No. We're renting for the time being, which is kind of working perfectly fine, renting it out. There's always, talking to other entrepreneurs and other business owners. If we can buy the building and then pay it yourself, hey, that's what we want to try and do. But for the moment, we're renting and it works perfectly for us.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
What would do you have aspirations outside of just the physio business as far as like properties or anything?
Yeah, own a house. We're knocking that down at the moment and rebuilding. We own another commercial property already that's being rented out, so we couldn't move into that due to that being rented out, and we're kind of like, hey, no point getting them out. They're paying the mortgage and everything else, so we might as well just leave it there. So, yeah, probably the next step would be let's get this new house going.
Yeah.
Get that built first.
Huge
and then
undertaking.
Get some equity and then hopefully buy another property from there as well. That would be the goal.
Is that house I delivered to a while ago?
Yeah. So an old 1962, full of asbestos and everything else like that. Cool. And we thought, hey, beautiful house to start with. It worked for us when we got it with no kids.
Yeah.
Then it's like, 3-tier house on one level. It's like, what the hell is here? It's just an add-on plus an add-on plus an add-on.
Right.
The kitchen's right next to the bathroom. You have to walk through and you're like, what the hell? So, looked at renovations, thought, nah, let's knock it down. Let's rebuild. So that's the plan, which would be very, very exciting.
Yeah, and you've got quite a big block.
Yeah, about 960 square meters. So from, nearly 1,000, which quarter acre, which is beautiful. So, and we thought, hey, let's maybe subdivide it. But having a little fella, having a dog, which is a Kelpie, we need as much space as we can get. So for the time being, we'll keep it, get a brand new house with new electrics and plumbing, which we don't have to worry about.
Dude.
So then we can save time hanging out with the family, focus on the business.
Bro, you're in the fucking prime of your life. you got a business that's popping.
Yep.
You got the cruiser. You got a cruiser?
Prado. Yep.
New baby.
Yep.
You got Kelpie, the smartest dog ever.
Yep.
You're going to tell me your wife is fucking the coolest chick ever as well?
Absolutely. 100%.
You're him.
Yeah. We're loving life. That's the good thing about it. So we're just small chipping away as we can. But it also comes with sacrifice. You know, again, people go, oh, God, he's got this, this, and this. But, from 7:30, from when I get home from work at, say, 5:30 or 6, and then to Paddy goes down at 7:30, that's time with him. Putting to bed, reading Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy.
Yeah.
7:30 comes around, do the dishes, and then I'm working from 7:30 to 9 on the business. Yeah. Every night from Monday to Friday, and then there's even probably a few hours on the weekend as well. So people don't see that. I do it because I enjoy it. Maybe, sending invoices and creating exercise programs, it can get a bit tedious, but it's part of the business. I'd rather spend time with Paddy when he's awake and with the wife, of course, and then focus on those things when it's dead time. Yeah. So you got to really sacrifice and use your time wisely.
How do you go with your fatigue management?
It's probably been effective with the little one because, like, say a month ago, Paddy was getting up 6 times a night. Like, there was some nights we're up from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. and you're like, oh my God. So I plan to go to the gym at 6 a.m. that morning. You just skip it. You just got to play it smart and you go, hey, is this actually going to be worth it? I skip that day, hopefully get a better sleep the next night, and then we kind of go from there. Again, the fatigue side of things, on the weekends, you kind of just rest as much as you can. But yeah, I've kind of got a bit, it's not mentality, but it's just my body, I can't sit still. I'm one that can't sleep during the day. Say, for instance, Paddy goes for a sleep, Beck goes for a sleep. I'm like out the old place, stripping down things, packing up things, going to the business when we had to move, going painting, whatever it may be. Yep. I kind of hate to sit still. So it kind of works in my favour, but also I do have to be careful of burning out, and that's where probably holidays and setting those things out for the year is really important as well. I
feel like the skill of Sunday is something that a lot of business owners never really get right.
Yep.
Like, this was the first year, 2025 was the first year that we're like, from this date to this date, we're closed.
Yep.
And I didn't do anything on the business.
Yep.
Normally it was like, at the start, you're like, we never close.
Yep.
And day, night, public holidays, I don't care. If you want to give me money, I'll take it.
Yep.
And then you sort of get to that point where you're like, all right, we're closed. And then you're like, this is a great opportunity for me to get in there and clean this up and make this and do that and fix this spreadsheet. And this, like, Christmas just been, I turned my computer off for 10 days.
How nice.
Dude, fuck you. I'm not going to be on that computer.
Yep.
Like, I'm just going to be in my house with my family, happy.
Yep.
You know, like practicing what it's going to be like next Christmas with a baby.
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely. 100%.
And dude, the amount of, like, especially young blokes I don't know in business that are just like, I don't know, man, I can't turn off. And it's like, that's not good. Yep. Not being able to turn off creates burnout. Burnout creates bigger problems in your business that, if you did stop, when you come back with a fresh mind, you're attacking that problem like you're paid to, literally, compared to, oh, fuck, I better fix this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you do have to have that turn off time. So say we went down south on Sunday, didn't even touch the phone for like the whole 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. that we were down there. So it kind of was a turn off. And like I said, from the 7:30 to 9 p.m., it's dead time. I'm not going to be doing anything else.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's perfect time to do the business side of things. Whereas beforehand, hanging out with Beck and hanging out with Paddy and stuff like that, it was perfect. So I can do those things and focus on them, which is great.
Paddy's short for Patrick, eh?
Yep, absolutely. Paddy, Patrick, little Ricky, but yeah, we've gone with Paddy.
Yeah, dude, yeah. I can't wait to give our baby 100 nicknames, eh?
I know, it's pretty cool. Absolutely. He's the first grandchild on both sides, so he's pretty spoiled, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's
which is
cool.
Always nice as well.
And obviously, you're thinking of having more.
Yep, absolutely. Kind of again, watch this space. We'd always love to have more. We don't know, it's a lot of people find it difficult, so we always just hope we can have more, and we'll get the house built first.
Yeah,
and so then we can move into the new house and have another baby. I think that's the plan.
Yeah, how exciting.
Yep.
Wow.
Because living with the in-laws at the moment, and then moving into my parents' house after that, just for the time being, while the house gets built, which is pretty. It's a real privilege. I'm very lucky.
Yeah, especially I'm guessing they both live fairly local to Bunbury.
Yeah, they literally live 300 metres from each other, both of our parents.
No way.
So super, super close.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's very lucky, and here in Bunbury as well, which is only like not too far from our house as well.
Yep.
So it works very, very well indeed. And it was kind of funny when Beck and I met at uni. And we both kind of knew we were from Bunbury. I was like, oh, Beck, do you want to catch up for a coffee as our first date? And she's like, yep, send through. I was like, yep, send through the address. And it was like 300 metres from my mum and dad's. What the hell?
Wow.
So that was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another tick. Yeah.
You do. You're starting to piss me off with how like picture perfect your life is. You know that.
Bit of luck. Absolutely.
That's good.
It's good fun.
That's good. Do you have questions for me that's been harrowing you since the idea of coming on the podcast?
Nothing major, but like really appreciate what you're doing down here in the Southwest and the community down here. I think
I'm not doing anything, dude.
You are. You're putting it all together and meeting a lot of people.
T-shirts in my garage.
It's pretty cool, Again, I was talking to one of the physios I've got at work, and he's from the UK, and he's like having a podcast like this where he was from. Like again, you would watch it so much because you knew those people.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people in this kind of region are like, oh yeah, I know that person. I don't know him personally, but I know about them. And then listening to the podcast and everything else, you start to learn a lot more about other people, and it's so raw and unreal. So well done. Yeah,
there's something about that. I think I used to sort of shit the bed a bit when I had the mayor on, or you'd have on this big business owner or whatever. And I think the coolest thing I take away from this is uninterrupted long form conversations with people who are smarter than me all the time.
Yep.
By osmosis, I get smarter.
Yeah.
Cool. The second thing is everybody has the same aspirations, problems, failures, success.
Yep.
They're just in different tones. And also the pattern repeats itself throughout everything.
Yep.
It's the same. Starting a business, starting a family, starting your personal growth, being in the middle of all those things, being towards the end of all of those things.
Yeah.
And I think there's such a cool relatability and feeling comfortable in being a human, having a human experience, listening to other humans have that experience.
Yep.
And it's like it's sort of it's wild actually, because I've sat here as the beta in all of these conversations. In my mind, I've always been like, I'm stoked and I still am stoked that you would want to be a part of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had on Amy from Alua. She had her shop burnt down as a consequence of
saw that.
And I was stoked that, she's been in business for 7 years. She's like a community hub. She's done all these great things. So many people know of her. And you track back through Jimmy Giacchi, Jordan Gianfrancesco, all these people that you're like, this is so fucking cool. They want to be on here.
Yep.
and I've had this happen a couple times now, and I'm saying this completely unpretentiously, which when I am talking pretentiously, I identify it. This is not pretentious. But Amy said, she goes, like as far as like, business and that, she goes, I couldn't believe that like you knew me, like I'm down here and you're up there. I'm like, you have 8 staff members. You've been in business for 7 years. You're a legit person in business doing
Absolutely.
the thing.
Yep.
I run a home business with one staff member who's my fiance.
Yep.
How could you, like the perception that I'm not the beta is crazy, And I think in order to maintain whatever this is that we're talking about, it's to actually still be the beta every time.
Yep.
It's to just go, I have something to learn. Tell me.
Absolutely. And again, it's just a conversation. You
is.
learn so much from just having a conversation, and, in business, networking and talking to people is a big part about it. So I think you just got to put yourself out there.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I have some fucking cool guests coming up too.
I see a list over there on the board. I reckon that would be pretty cool if you get some of those.
That won't be on the camera.
Yeah, it won't be. Probably best to just keep it off the sideboard.
Yeah. Well, that list up there is my like absolute, like would love to get them on.
Yep.
One of them is booked in for 2 weeks.
Nice.
One of them has responded very positively to an email.
Perfect.
Which is like one of the bigger names up there, which is crazy. It was so cool. Like, I just said, like, dude, you're a fucking North Star to me. I'd love to have you on the podcast. He's like, send me the info. I'm like, I'll send you the info right now.
Let's do it. How nice is it, eh?
Yeah.
Your aim is one podcast a week? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah. So we've started on one podcast a week. Besides early December, I had like a 3-week gap for no fault of my own. Recorded a podcast that just went so far off the deep end I couldn't post it. It was so offensive. Yeah. I didn't think it was that bad. And then, I ran it through because I've got a whole process. I ran through my process and it was like, I let a few people listen to it and they're like, apps, don't post that.
Really? That bad?
It was me and Gage. And Gage had done, I think this is his 6th podcast.
Yeah.
His 6th podcast with me. And we're just talking the way we talk at Barlow on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Which belongs at Barlow on a Saturday morning.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Then the next week I had someone cancel on me, and then the week after that, the second week, I was like, nah, I'm being silly. I'm just going to post the Gauge one. And then it really doubled down like, you absolutely can't. Then the third week I was like, sweet, it's all good, lined up. Had someone, they cancelled last minute. And it sucks because, I'm trying to monetize this by getting sponsors on the show, and a sponsor logs on, they're like, you haven't posted for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
What am I paying for? Yeah. So it's like that sort of thing. You're like, a bit of a kick in the guts, but also like printing T-shirts is cool and all that. I love this.
Yeah.
I was sort of a little bit disheartened because I had an absolute shit of a day up until you arrived.
Yeah.
To be honest, I've just had a bunch of little like niggling things that didn't go wrong, and the whole time I don't care about the thing that's going wrong and the solution for that problem.
Yep.
I care that like I'm doing the thing that I love today, and I'm spending all this bandwidth and energy on shit that doesn't matter.
Yep.
Yep. So it's like I don't know, it's kind of cool to have this hobby that is so rewarding in that way.
Big time. Absolutely. You get to meet so many different people, learn so many different stories, and then, it also makes you a better podcaster as well, like we're talking about. You build that experience. You start to ask different questions, or you see what questions work, see what doesn't work. So it's kind of just a work in motion.
It is.
Yeah.
I got one more question for you.
Go.
Do you see people move and identify, like, are you like be walking at center point, you're like,
oh yeah,
he's got a bung hip, or
100%. Yeah.
You'd almost have a different lens on the world because of your profession, hey?
Yeah, you're very objective. You start to see things as well, like even like small things like, oh, you've got your hair done. Like, those things that like, say like husbands or wives kind of don't say too much, where they probably don't recognize it. But like you just start to see those different changes in people, particularly people come through the door, because that's what you need to look at. You need to look at how they're walking, what's changed, what we need to progress to now. So then you start walking down like through the markets or whatever it may be, and they got a crutch, you go, and they can't use their right arm or the left arm. And you're like, oh, I wonder what's going on there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's your trajectory like as far as, obviously you've been very academically focused.
Yep.
And you use the vernacular of someone who's academically focused as well, which is the polar opposite to me.
Yeah.
Referencing like, did your parents try doggy style as a,
Next question.
What's your like personal growth journey been like?
Personal growth? Yeah, I guess when I got out of, so had my gap year, kind of just like learned, hey, I do want to go to uni, I want to do those kind of things. Absolutely love uni. Did exercise science, was 3 years, then did a master's of physio for 2.5 years, and then just worked, kind of like not just worked, but that's what I did.
Yeah.
And then from a personal side of things, I guess just kind of just letting everything kind of fall into place. I don't.
Are you a reading self-help book sort of guy?
Yeah, like if I read a book, definitely. Yeah, entrepreneurial books.
All right,
the E-Myth.
Give me the E-Myth.
Yeah, E-Myth for sure.
Yeah, I've danced around potentially reading it, but never got there.
Unreal.
What's your give me your top 5 books as far, and that's business and personal growth.
Yeah, like E-Myth would be up there. Robert Kiyosaki, like Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
And then also Barefoot Investor was a really, really good one as well. Particularly when I was probably younger, it's probably a little bit more simplified to where I am now.
Yeah.
But a really, really good one to start out with, and the kind of learning about money. To be honest, I haven't read a whole lot in recent times, purely from moving business, moving house. A lot of other things have kind of take over, and Paddy's come along and everything else like that.
Yep.
So that would be my top 3 for sure in the most recent future, but it hasn't been too recent.
All right, I got another one for you. You read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill?
I've heard of it. I haven't read it.
Damn.
Yeah. Good book.
It's my Bible. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like my the question relating to that is there's like he identifies. So the idea is this book's written in early 1900s, 1901 or something. He essentially follows a bunch of these like Andrew Craigie, Henry Ford.
Yes.
All the oil, steel, motor, property, all these massive tycoons of the day, which then went on to be these essentially like pioneers of their
industry.
20th century, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's one after what it is, isn't it?
Yes.
So of the 20th century. So he basically would spend heaps of time with these people and then simplify like what do all these people have in common, what do they do, and how they reach such high pinnacles of success. I think it's the first or second chapter. He says, look, there is a secret inside these pages that I literally tell you over and over and over, but I'm not going to tell you it's the secret, and it's something that once you read it and you realize it, you're like, this is what this is actually about. It's like there's 2 books. There's the book that you're reading, and then there's the book that you get once you've read it and you read it again. You go, okay, yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, he literally says it in the line before he says there's a secret in this book, and then continues to repeat it throughout the thing.
Yeah.
So should I ruin the book for you and anyone who hasn't read it and just say what the secret is?
Well, they know you're going to talk about it now, so they can just turn on mute for a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go for it.
This is your, what are they called? Spoiler
spoiler alert.
So
language warning.
Yeah, it runs, it's doggy style, that's the secret. It runs almost parallel to the Bible.
Yeah, okay.
So when I say it's my Bible, obviously to the spiritual person, especially, Catholic, is going to be like, no, the Bible's Bible.
Yep.
Don't even consider that. But hear me out. The essential idea of Think and Grow Rich is you've got a primary target, like a primary goal. This is the thing that we're trying to achieve.
Yep.
Now, what we're going to do around this is we're going to start and finish the day with writing it down, saying it out loud, and visualizing what it looks, tastes, feels, what their senses respond to, right? So we're creating that visual memory that we can grasp onto. We do this so that when it arrives, we're like, that's it, right? So we'll use something really simple. I want a Ferrari, I want a Ferrari, I want a Ferrari. Well, let's get deeper into it. I want a red Ferrari. I want the 2021, 88, whatever it is.
Yep.
I want this. When I sit in it, the interior is this color. It smells like this because of the leather. It feels like this when I hold on to it. It gives me this feeling in my chest when it accelerates. You get such a visceral, emotional feeling that's what it is.
Get detailed.
Right? You start and end your day with it because when you're drifting from sleep into awake consciousness, you're in this really hazy stage where your brain, your mind, your conscious doesn't actually know what's real and what's not. That's why dreams feel so real.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes you can feel like you're in a dream when you're, just in your awake life. So what you're doing is you're using that hazy stage to confuse your mind that you already have it. Because if you already have it, your mind antenna frequency is going to attract it, right? Very, woo-woo, stick with me. We can replace that with something that makes sense with, well, every morning, every night, I'm going to pray for what I want, right? Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to surround ourselves with people who are where we're at or or above where we want to be.
Yep.
And we're going to make that our community. Now, what that does, through osmosis again, osmosis word of the day, is we're going to raise our vibration to people who are already above and beyond what we're trying to do. We're going to seek that community to do it. What's that? Church.
Yep.
Right? So you then find that you embody the spirit of what you're trying to attain through the practice, right, of going, well, this is what it would feel like when I get it. I am the person who deserves it. I'm going to surround all of these thoughts with positive things that then attract it to me so I can get it quicker, right? This whole thing is a replication of the church, right? I actually think that if you zoom out of this far enough, again, this Think and Grow Rich, obviously it just needs a flashy name so that people will take the book off the shelves and read it. Forget about the getting rich. It's more about think and grow, fill in the gap of what you want. Typically, you're filling that with your why. Simon Sinek, It Starts With Why, is also a great book.
Yeah.
That is
He's very good.
Sort of the, if you read Start With Why and then Think and Grow Rich, that's a really good back-to-back read. I actually think that, dare I say this, and for my spiritual listeners, forgive me if I'm wrong in time, my opinion changes over time because I'm a human who's developing thoughts as I go. Yeah. It may be that Christianity hijacked this simple knowledge of that's how the world works.
Yeah.
The idea that if you really want something, all you have to do is put yourself in a position to achieve it. And even if it's a bizarre goal that will take your entire life, it's still fucking possible because another human has done it and you're a human. Yep. You're in the same starting blocks, right? And yes, there are people with advantages. There are people who have a leg up. But essentially, if you can start with knowing what you want and you have a solid enough why as to why you want it, the steps are easy.
Yeah.
You've done the hard part.
Absolutely.
You can reverse engineer that shit all the way. Oh, I missed out heaps of things in the book, by the way, which is like reverse engineering a plan, doing step one, all these things. And also aligning yourself with other people who have either a similar structure of goal or goal so that you can take the same steps at the same time and share this information. The Think and Grow Rich is, again, it's like a playbook for life.
Yep.
It's a playbook for achievement.
Yep. It
starts with, hey, I surrounded myself with people who achieved a lot and then got the consistent things that they did to achieve those things.
Yep. Big time.
Wow.
Big part of it, isn't it?
Dude, you can reread that every year and you get a different meaning out of it every time.
Yeah.
Sorry, not a different meaning. You get a greater depth out of it every time.
Big time. I think it's just so important as well just to start to read those books, immerse yourself in that kind of stuff that comes through your social media as well. Like, I see kids are like 18, 19, just on their phone like all the time, using that dead time like we talked about. It's like just do like clips like through AI. Like those things come up on my social media. I'm like, God, you're wasting so much time doing nothing. Yeah. Just try, There could be things you could be doing that could just start to make you think business-like, start to make you a bit more money, start to meet other people that are doing it as well. Yeah. It could help you so much.
Yeah, well, this is a thing, like poor marketing has hijacked the word manifestation, right? For some reason, people don't want to be salesmen anymore because they're like, I don't want to be a snake oil salesman knocking on your door trying to sell you this. It's like, what the fuck do you think sales is?
Yeah.
Sales is selling something and making a commission. Like, dude, if you get 100%. Good at it, you have everything.
Solving a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like this idea, I don't really picture myself as someone who owns a business. Okay. Most people don't start a business because they want to own a business. Yeah. They start it because they have a different idea of what the fabric of their lifestyle should look like.
Yeah.
And then they realize that the only through line to where they are and where they want to be is business.
Yeah.
Business is just the name of the process.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just I think there's a correlation of factors, but this idea that it's harder than scrolling on TikTok all day, but it's like for what you put in, even if you fail, it's still rewarding the journey of trying.
100%. Like they say, it's like, it's not a failure, it's just a learning lesson. So just go to the next step or something along those lines. I feel like Gary Vee, you heard of Gary Vee?
Of course.
Yeah, I feel like he's just a really good a role model in those kind of things as well. Obviously I've never met him, but he has a really good insight into just trying it, just doing it. Like, people ask him these questions, should I leave work? It's like, just take a step back. If you don't like it, quit. Like, why do you have to ask a professional, or not even a professional, just some random bloke about it? Yeah. He started a wine podcast.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're asking this bloke about your whole personal life. And it's just like, he's just like straight to the point. It's just like, no, listen to yourself for 1 second. You know your answer.
Yeah, I was playing with this thought just before you arrived, actually. There's this, like, I sort of want someone to come into the business and look around and go like, oh, you know, like you should focus more on this, you should do less of that, and rah, rah. And I'm like, but what am I actually looking for? Like, who is that person? Like, let's pretend that's, okay, well, they've got 20 years in business and they just want to see a young person succeed, and they're going to come in here and look at all the elements of my business and look at what's working and look at what's not working and tell me to do more of that and less of that. And they're going to say, oh, you're not monetizing this over here. Like, dude, you just want a visionary to come in. You're a visionary.
Yep.
Stop fucking around.
Yep.
Stop wishing for some mythical person to come in and play this role. Be the role.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, you're not him today. You might become him if you start practicing that.
Big time.
You know, but that, again, like, and you can probably relate to this, like, you know, being 5 years into business, like, no 2 days are the same. I'm completely unrecognizable as compared to who I was when I started.
Yep.
My goals change every 15 minutes.
Yep.
The expectation I have of myself is so broad, vast, but also narrow and specific.
Yeah.
You know, like you literally, like Elon Musk says, he goes, what is it? Being an entrepreneur is like staring at the sun and chewing on glass. It's such an accurate description. You're like, that's it.
That sounds pretty hectic.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
It sounds about right.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like the wild part of having this much freedom is you can do whatever you want to do, be whatever you want to be, but you can also do whatever you want to do and be whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no right or wrong answer.
Definitely not.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I'm more confused than when we started.
I know. Exactly. That's perfect.
Should we wrap it up there?
Lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on the podcast. Everyone
Beautiful.
else, be good to your mum because we are out.